Your hormones could be sending you warning signals right now, and you might be brushing every single one of them off as just stress, or just getting older, or just a bad week. What if I told you that the tiredness that sleep doesn't fix, the sudden mood swings that feel like they come from nowhere, and even that strange new ache in your joints could all be connected to one thing happening inside your body right now? Most women miss the fourth sign completely, and it's often the one that explains everything else. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it happens, and what you can actually do about it starting today. Let's get into it. I want to start by saying something simple. You are not imagining these changes. So many women are told that what they're feeling is just stress or just life, when in reality their bodies are trying to communicate something very real and very common. Before we go further, I'd love to ask you something. What change have you noticed most about yourself after turning 40 or 50? Was it your energy, your sleep, your mood, or something else entirely? Drop it in the comments, because honestly, some of our best video ideas come directly from what you share with us. This channel exists because of conversations just like that one. Now let's talk about what's really going on with your hormones and why these 7 signs matter so much. Sign number 1 is fatigue that doesn't improve with rest. This is different from being tired after a long day. This is waking up after a full night's sleep and still feeling like you ran a marathon. Many women describe it as a heaviness that coffee just can't fix anymore. Here's why this happens. As estrogen and progesterone levels begin to shift, usually starting in the late 30s or 40s, your body's ability to regulate energy, blood sugar, and sleep quality can be affected. Research suggests that fluctuating hormone levels can disrupt the deep, restorative stages of sleep, even if you're technically getting 8 hours. This is extremely common. In fact, healthcare professionals report that fatigue is one of the most frequently mentioned complaints during the perimenopause years, which can begin much earlier than most women expect. If this sounds familiar, a few gentle strategies can help. Keeping a consistent sleep and wake time, even on weekends, supports your body's natural rhythm. Reducing caffeine after midday can also make a noticeable difference. And if the fatigue is severe or sudden, it's worth mentioning to your doctor, since thyroid function can sometimes overlap with these same symptoms. But fatigue is just the beginning. What comes next surprises a lot of women, because it doesn't feel physical at all. It feels emotional. Sign number 2 is unexplained mood swings or increased anxiety. One moment you feel completely fine, and the next, something small like a dropped spoon or a minor comment makes you want to cry or snap. If this has happened to you, please know there is nothing wrong with you emotionally. Estrogen plays a meaningful role in regulating serotonin, which is one of the brain's key mood-stabilizing chemicals. When estrogen levels become unpredictable, so can your emotional responses. Many healthcare professionals describe this as one of the most misunderstood symptoms of hormonal change, because it's so easily mistaken for a mental health issue alone, rather than a physical one with emotional effects. A simple practice that helps many women is naming the feeling out loud, even quietly to yourself, such as saying, "This is a hormone wave, not a reflection of who I am." It sounds small, but it can create real emotional distance in the moment. If anxiety becomes persistent or overwhelming, that's an important sign to speak with a healthcare provider. Not because something is wrong with you, but because support is available and effective. Now here's where things get interesting, because sign number 3 shows up somewhere you'd never expect. Sign number 3 is changes in your skin and hair. You might notice your skin feels drier than it used to, or that fine lines seem to be appearing faster. Some women notice thinning hair, while others notice new, unwanted hair growth in different areas. This happens because estrogen supports collagen production and skin hydration. As levels decline, skin can lose some of its elasticity and moisture retention. At the same time, the balance between estrogen and androgens, which are hormones like testosterone that all women naturally produce in small amounts, can shift, which sometimes affects hair growth patterns. This is incredibly common, and it's not something to feel embarrassed about. Staying well hydrated, using a gentle moisturizer with ingredients like hyaluronic acid, and protecting your skin from sun exposure can support skin health during this time. If hair thinning becomes significant, a healthcare provider can check for related causes, including thyroid function and iron levels. Now, this next one is the sign most women completely overlook, and it might be the most important one on this entire list. Sign number 4 is joint pain and stiffness that seems to come out of nowhere. If you've started noticing your knees ache going upstairs, or your fingers feel stiff in the morning, and you don't have a clear injury injury to explain it, this could be hormone-related, and most women never connect the two. Estrogen has a protective, anti-inflammatory effect on joints and connective tissue. When levels decline, some women experience increased joint discomfort, sometimes described as feeling like the early stages of arthritis. Research has found that joint pain is reported by a significant number of women during the menopause transition, yet it's rarely discussed alongside more commonly known symptoms like hot flashes. This is exactly why so many women miss it. They assume joint pain only means aging or arthritis, when hormonal changes could be a meaningful contributing factor. Gentle, regular movement, such as walking, swimming, or light strength training, can help maintain joint mobility and reduce stiffness over time. Anti-inflammatory foods, like leafy greens, fatty fish, and berries, are often recommended as part of a balanced approach. If the pain is severe, swollen, or affecting daily life, it's important to have it evaluated by a healthcare professional to rule out other causes. I'd love to know, did joint pain ever surprise you the way it surprised so many other women watching this right now? Let us know in the comments below. Let's continue, because sign number 5 affects something most of us take for granted every single day. Sign number 5 is difficulty concentrating, sometimes called brain fog. This might show up as forgetting why you walked into a room, struggling to find the right word mid-sentence, or feeling like your thoughts are moving through fog instead of clearly. This is one of the most distressing symptoms for many women, because it can feel frightening. Many worry it means something more serious is happening. In most cases, research suggests this is closely tied to hormonal fluctuations affecting memory and focus centers in the brain, particularly during perimenopause. It's reassuring to know that for most women, this tends to improve over time as hormone levels stabilize. In the meantime, breaking tasks into smaller steps, reducing multitasking, prioritizing sleep, and staying mentally active with reading or puzzles can genuinely help support focus. If memory issues are severe, rapidly worsening, or paired with other concerning symptoms, that is absolutely worth discussing with a healthcare provider, simply for peace of mind and proper evaluation. Now, sign number 6 is one that affects how you feel in your own body every single day. Sign number 6 is unexplained weight changes, especially around the midsection. You might notice that even with the same eating habits and activity level, your body composition feels different, often with more weight settling around the abdomen. Hormonal shifts can influence how the body stores fat and regulates metabolism, and changes in estrogen specifically have been linked to a tendency toward increased abdominal fat storage. This isn't about willpower, and it isn't a personal failing. It's a physiological shift that many women experience during this stage of life. Strength training has been shown to be particularly supportive during this time, since it helps maintain muscle mass, which naturally supports metabolism. Prioritizing protein at meals and maintaining consistent physical activity are practical, sustainable approaches, rather than restrictive dieting, which research suggests is rarely effective long-term. And now, sign number 7, the one that often brings women to search for answers in the first place. Sign number 7 is irregular or unpredictable menstrual cycles. This might mean your period comes earlier or later than usual, becomes heavier or lighter, or skips entirely for a month or two. This happens because ovulation becomes less predictable as hormone levels fluctuate during perimenopause. It's incredibly common and often one of the very first noticeable signs that hormonal changes are beginning, sometimes years before other symptoms appear. Tracking your cycle, even with a simple notebook or an app, can help you and your healthcare provider understand your unique pattern. While irregular cycles are usually a normal part of this transition, it's still worth mentioning to your doctor, especially if bleeding becomes very heavy, lasts an unusually long time, or occurs after a long gap without a period. So those are the 7 signs, but I want to take a moment because there's something more important than the list itself. These changes are not a sign that something is wrong with you. They are a normal, natural transition that millions of women experience. The challenge is that so few people talk about it openly, which leaves many women feeling confused, isolated, or even dismissed when they bring up these symptoms. You deserve to feel informed. You deserve to feel heard, and you deserve real, practical information, not fear and not exaggerated promises. If even one of these 7 signs felt familiar to you today, I'd genuinely love to know which one. one. Sharing your experience in the comments might be exactly what another woman watching needs to read today, to feel a little less alone in what she's going through. If you found this helpful and you enjoy practical, evidence-informed health information like this, we'd love to have you join us here. We're building a community for women who want real answers, not noise. Take care of yourself today, even in one small way. Drink a little more water, take a short walk, or simply give yourself permission to rest without guilt. Your body has been working hard for you for a very long time, and understanding it is one of the most powerful things you can do for your long-term health. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I'll see you in the next video.